Toni Kroos said that the process of coming back to the national team started with a phone call from you. Can you tell us about the process from him, when you got the idea to how you convinced him and why it was so important getting him back?
Yeah, Tony's a well-experienced player, and it's important for us because he's always calm on the pitch. You can give him the ball in every situation, and normally he will not lose it. He's kind of a important player for the whole squad, especially for younger players. He won the Champions League title the 6th time, so at the end it's an incredible player, and he's important for us. I do not know exactly when the idea started, but it was kind of, I don't know, November. We did the first call talking about this topic. And it took a period of time to convince him because he wanted to know what we were going to change in the future for the national team. He said to me in one of the first phone calls that he only will be part of the team when he has the feeling that we can win anything with the team. And so he wanted to know what are the next steps, what are the next decisions, how we change the team, and I told him, and then he said, yes, I will be part of it, and let's rock.
And tomorrow's game will be your first game at a major tournament as a coach. What does it feel like as compared to preparing for like an important Champions League game at club level? What's the difference?
I think the big difference is that's a big tournament at home, so at the end, normally when you have a big Champions League game, you've one at home, one away. So at the end, I think that's the most important difference between a big Champions League game. I'm excited. I'm looking forward to. It's a special moment for me as well, not only for the team. I think it's a special moment for everybody in this country. We try to do our best tomorrow. So we try to convince all the fans on the stands to do one of the best competitive teams in this tournament. So at the end, we try to do our best.
Take one here, and then the gentleman.
Hi, Julian.
Hi.
I just wonder if you could expand a little bit on what you said earlier about classic Scottish mentality. And what do you think of men who wear the kilts, like the skirts? Have you seen much of that?
I think the mentality of the Scottish team is that they fight for every ball. I think, as I mentioned, they made a great journey from a team who play a lot of long balls and go on the second ball and try to fight for the second ball, and then play in the final third to a team who can create chances in ball possession as well. It's not only a team who can fight for a second ball, and the ball's not always up in the air. They are brilliant in ball possession moments, very good in the final third. They play a lot of crosses. So they try to create some stressy moments for the defense when they put every free ball in half space into the box. And then they have a lot of players who are brilliant with the ball on the feet by dribbling, but also a lot of players who drop in the box and try to do numbers up in the opponent's box to score a goal. So at the end, we have to stay focused to avoid some crosses, be aggressive on both wings to avoid that many crosses. And also be prepared that a lot of Scottish players will be part of our box defending moments. So we stay in man-to-man coverage. That's very important. And then they are physical strong. I think that's normal. We try to be very good in all the infights on the pitch. And at the end, we have to score one goal more than your team. And we try to do this. And I'm totally convinced that the Scottish team will do the same. Oh, I'm so sorry.
Hi, Julian. It's obviously very well documented that Germany has had a couple of group stage exits in the last few years and lost in the round of 16 in the last Euro. Have you had to clear any hangover from that? Do you fear any hangover from that? And does this feel like a fresh start for this squad?
I don't want to talk about the past. I think it's important where we want to go. That's the most important topic. Now we have a status quo. We try to do some things from March on with the squad, find a good squad, find a good team. And now it's important where we want to go. We want to be more successful than in the other tournaments. And yeah, we try to do our best for the start tomorrow. It's an important start into the tournament, and we try to do our best in the next weeks. And it doesn't make sense to talk about the past tournaments. It's only important where we want to go. We want to be one of the best teams in this cup, and I'm probably sure we try to win this cup as well.
Good evening, Mr. Nagelsmann. I'm from Xinhua News Agency. We know Germany national team has so many fans in the world, but at the last 3 major tournaments, the German team hasn't won the opening match. So this time, most people say the streak will be ended. So how will you help the squad to cope with maybe the pressure and possible high expectation from the fans? Thank you.
First of all, I think it's kind of normal that you feel a little pressure in front of before such a tournament and such important games. I think that's normal and that's part of the game. At the end, for me, the most important topic when I talk to my players is that pressure is kind of a privilege. There are thousands, millions of people in the world who do Instagram, and they do it because something special should happen in their life. And they want to share their moments, and we share our moments with the whole world of sport in the next couple of weeks. And we just enjoy the things we do on the pitch. That's very important. Our players started being a soccer player when they were very, very young, because they love to do this. And when you love to do this, what you do, you will do it proper. And at the end, I think there are thousands of football players outside who want to play a soccer game with feeling kind of pressure because it's a privilege. And at the end, we just have to enjoy the games and the big game tomorrow evening. Enjoy it. Try to be the better team. And it's important to feel a little pressure, but we can beat pressure and we can beat Scotland as well.
Okay, last question.
Hi, Julian. It's Derek McGregor from the Scottish Sun. Can I ask what you think of the Scotland coach, Steve Clarke, and how do you think he's made a big difference to the team?
He's a well-experienced coach. Many years he was assistant coach of big names and big coaches. So at the end, I think he learned a lot from big coaches in the world. And as I mentioned, I think the transformation of the Scottish football is also because of his brilliant job in the last couple of months and years. When you watch the Scottish team in earlier years, it was kind of a team would play a lot of long balls, and most of the time the ball was up in the air and was kind of only fighting. And now it's they can do every part of the game in a good way. So they're good in ball position. They're good in especially when they win the ball in the opponent's half. They're very good in counter-attacking. They're good in build-up game. They're still good in doing some pressing moments. They're good in defending in a very compact formation. So at the end, I think they're on a good way, and it's because of the brilliant job of my colleague.
Vielen Dank. Thank you very much, Coach.